Good morning, everyone. How are you? Nice to see the Jim Jam gang here, back for more stuff. I'll just let a few more people in, but as you can see from behind me, that subject, space, is what got the most votes. Who voted for space yesterday as our unit of study? Yes, Humphrey did. I can see Humphrey's hand up. Who else voted for space? Oh, I hope some of you did. maybe all the people who voted for the weather are here today. Who knows? Who knows? But let's get on with it anyway. It's lovely to see you. I've muted everybody just because I was listening to the recording yesterday, and when the microphones are off, it gets really noisy in the background. But I'll unmute you all when it's time for questions. But hello and welcome. It's really, really nice to see you. I can see some amazing pajamas there. I can see some unicorns as well, and I'm not sure if they're pajamas, but they're amazing. They're incredible. My ones today are pink and blue with a PA symbol here, which is 2 letters in the word space, but it actually stands for Peter Alexander. Now, has everybody got their 4-step process sheets, their word study sheets? If you don't, it's cool. It's absolutely fine, okay? You don't have to have them. But if you, oh, wow, I can see lots of them. You guys are super organized. That is so good. That is so lovely to see. Well done. So we're going to do 3 words today. So you're going to need 3 separate sheets. I hope you managed to get 3 separate sheets. If you didn't, you can use a bit of paper. It's no drama at all. It's absolutely fine, okay? And today we're going to study 3 words. But before that, I'm going to read you the first part of our book about space. So, and you chose this one, and this is from, it's called 100 Facts on Space, right? And it's a series by this company called Miles Kelly. And they're really good. We use them at Lifelong Literacy all the time to build knowledge, and it's really, really good. And I'm actually going to read you fact number 1. Bam, bam, bam. Can you see it? Fact number 1, surrounded by space. So you don't have to do anything, but you can read along. You can read out loud along. Have you got that book? I saw someone holding up that book. Yeah, you've got the book. Wow. That's so cool. These are really, really good books, and they're very, very popular. So that is brilliant. So we're going to read fact number 1. You can read it out loud along with me, or you can just follow along. And I've actually got a nice big picture of it over here. And then we're going to take 3 words from that, and we're going to study them. Da, 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 da. Are you ready? I'm ready. You were born ready. All right, here we go. Fact number 1 about space. Hopefully you can see that. Surrounded by space. Follow along as we go. 1, space is all around the Earth, high above the air. Here, on the Earth's surface, where we are, sorry, I got that wrong. If we were playing snowman, you would get to draw a piece of your snowman. I'm doing it again. Here we go. Here, on the Earth's surface, we are surrounded by air. If you go upwards, up a mountain or in an aircraft, the air grows thinner until there is none at all. This is where space begins. Space itself is mostly empty, but there are many exciting things out there, such as planets, stars, and galaxies. People who travel in space are called astronauts. And that's fact number 1 about space. The 3 words that we're going to study from this paragraph is an easy one, a medium one, and then a hard one, okay? The first word we're going to study, well, it has to be space, right? We've got to study the word space because this is our whole unit of study. So we've got to make sure you can write space, okay? Next, though, we're also going to study this word planet. It's a good word to know. It's a good word to know. And lastly, the hardest word, that was my dog sneezing, by the way. Lastly, the hardest word, oh, twice, bless you. The hardest word is galaxies, but we're going to study the word galaxy. Okay, so be prepared. Those are your 3 words. Here we go. Grab your first 4-step process sheet, this one here. And in this beautiful box here is the space for your beautiful handwriting. What I want you to do is, you see that dot? That line that comes out from the dot is where all your letters sit. So in your neatest handwriting, write the word space, just like this. Go. I can see a lot of hard work being done there. Wonderful. Now, the next thing we usually do at Lifelong Literacy when we're working with our students is we do a sentence that shows the meaning of the word space. But here's what we're going to do, because there's a big group of us, okay? Here's what we're going to do. For your homework, I want you to use space in a sentence and write it down. And you can ask an adult to help you write that down as well if you need it, okay? But I want to see your sentence for space. Tell me something about space. What does space mean? I'm going to give you a clue about what space means, right? Space, when we're talking about outside the Earth's air, space means the emptiness between worlds. It means the emptiness between planets and stars. That's what it means. It means the empty parts before we get to the planets and stars. That's what space is, right? And we use space in other ways too. For instance, my dog sometimes doesn't give me a lot of space, right? He likes to put his head on my knee. When I'm sitting on the couch, he likes to sit on me. Not a lot of space, right? So there's lots of ways you can use this word space. So anyway, your sentence is your homework, but together we're going to actually look at how to mark space so you remember how to spell it, okay? So it goes like this, right? First sound, S, and then P, and then A, and then this bit. And this bit says S, but do you know why? There's a signal, because the letter C usually says K, right? But it doesn't in this word because, and I think you all know, final silent E is making the C say S. So we're going to mark like a boss. You ready? Do we hear the E? Do we hear the no? So what do? You cross like a boss, right? But the E is doing something. Yes, you can even dab after doing that. I don't mind. Dabbing is good. All right, so the E is doing 2 things. The E is making the A say its name. If you took away the E, you would not know to say A, you would say A. But also, the E is making the C say S, space. So you've got to show how the E's being bossy to this letter and this letter. It can do that. It's that good. And that is how you mark space. That is the structure of space. Got it? Got it, got it, got it? Yes, I hope so. So on your sheet, that box should look like that. Okay. We're going to, for the words in this family, right? We're going to, thank you everybody. I love it when you show me, when you put it up to the screen like that. It's brilliant. Thank you very much, Mac. That was amazing. Really, really good, Tully. I can see all of that. Emma, you're amazing. Wow, look at your writing. What a clever person. That is just fabulous. Really good, Van, as well. That is just gorgeous. Thank you. What we're going to do is in this word's family, we're going to take the word space and we're going to add it to another word to form what's called a compound word. It goes like this, word, word. And the word is spaceship, right? You can get space and you can chuck ship on the end. And now you have what word? I think even though you're muted, I can hear you. You're going, spaceship. So in your family, write space and then a space, because we make spaces between syllables, space, ship, with all your marking. Do you see how the SH is underlined because it makes one sound shh? Space, ship. Guess what? There are other words you can make with space. That's going to be your homework too. Da-da-da-da. I can see you hard at work there. When you're done, show me. Wow, good. I don't have your name, but that looks amazing. Thank you. Mac, good stuff. Really nice. Spaceship. Incredible. Wow, Beck, Emily, Tom, really beautiful. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. This work, Tully and Van, amazing. Maxie, that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I don't know your name, but it is gorgeous. You don't have a name on this, but you're showing me it right now and it looks amazing. Yes. Oh my gosh. Incredible. All right. That's your first word. How easy was that? Your homework, one sentence. And also, if you want, you can make more words out of space because there's other words. Da-da-da-da. That space is done. We have done space officially. What you need now is your next sheet. And this time, we're going to do the word planet. Copy it down. Planet. A lot of writing. Wow, Hannah, you are fast. Incredible. Look at this stuff. That is amazing. Good stuff. Now, this is how planet goes, right? When you say planet, say it out loud, right? Planet. Then zip your lips and say it again. How many syllables? How many times did you go 2? So we're going to have the first syllable, a space, and then the next syllable, planet. And it's going to look like this. Plan. It. And that's what you're going to write in your next box. Plan it. And can you see, oops, I nearly showed you the family word. Can you see that I've underlined the E? Do you know why I've underlined the E? And I've underlined it twice. Do you know why? Because this is the hard bit to remember. I see so many people who spell the word planet with an I here. They go, because that's how you say it, right? You go like this, plan it, right? But it's not an I, it's an E, it's plan it. And you've got to remember that bit. So I've gone, underline that E twice, because when you come back to practice this, you've got to go plan it, planet. Yeah, it doesn't sound like you say, it doesn't look like you say it. So you got to remember. The thing about planet, right? And I absolutely love this about the word planet, is, just going to find it for you. So I'm giving you the exact right, definition. In astronomy, which is the study of stars, right? They use the word planet that came from a Greek word meaning wandering, to wander, to move about, because planets orbited stars. They actually went around stars. So they weren't fixed. They moved, they wandered. And we get another word that's going to be in this words family from planet that means moving. And do you know what it is? It's airplane. That is related to the word planet. So in the family box, right, air, plane. And that helps you also to remember that in planet, there's an E before the T, right? Plane, planet. Air's hard. Air and plane. Maxie, have you got a question? I'll just unmute you.
I know a bit about space. I actually know something about indigenous astronomy.
Really? Tell me. What is it?
So they call them in indigenous, they call the Milky Way the big emu, since when the big emu's that's when they go hunting for emu eggs.
Wow, because it's so light.
And
yeah.
And when it's upright, that because it's just like when mating time, and then when they're like that means they're protecting their eggs. But when they're like that, they're searching for food.
Wow.
And also, I also know a fact about Mars. It's physically impossible to live on there. If you laid out in the sun for Mars in 3 years, you're getting radiation. As much radiation as a NASA astronaut's whole entire career.
All right. So what are you saying, Maxie? We're not going to Mars then? No.
If you lay out in the sun, but there is ways to make us there.
This is incredible. You have some amazing knowledge. And it's funny that you mentioned the Milky Way, right? Because after we've done...
We're in the Milky Way galaxy.
Yeah, right? The Milky Way galaxy, because our next word is galaxy. So guys, when you look up into the sky at night, sometimes when there's not a lot of light pollution and you can look up into the stars and see all the stars, there's this great big huge bunch of stars. Have you ever seen it? It's almost like a cloud. Yeah. And it's
that's what they call the big emu.
Right. And that's in indigenous astronomy, called the big emu. I just learned that today because Maxie told me, right? So anyway, this great big galaxy of stars that you can see sometimes is called the Milky Way. Remember, Milky Way, right? Because the word galaxy is actually connected to Milky Way. So if you're done with planet, we're going to do our next word, our last word today, and that is galaxy. Write it down. Galaxy. Galaxy's hard. Look at that beautiful writing. Wow, Hannah, you've got curly G's and curly Y's. I love the curly stage of writing development. It's my favorite part. Beautiful work. Beautiful work, Emma. That's really good. Excellent. Galaxy. Crikey, what a word. Now, again, up to you to write your sentence, but I'll just give you the definition of galaxy just so that you know. A galaxy is something in the night sky that contains lots and lots of stars. And our galaxy, the galaxy that we live in, because there's lots of galaxies, right? But the galaxy that we live in is called the Milky Way, right? Because it looks milky. It looks like whitish in the sky. Now, here is the very, very coolest bit, okay? Are you ready for the coolest bit? We're going to look at what galaxy is made of, all right? And in that structure part, in that second box, the first syllable, because it's a 3-syllable word, I left the top off my pen, and now, very carelessly, and now it's not pretty anymore. All right, hope that's not a permanent marker. That's better. So we're going to go like this. Ga is our first syllable. So writing it on that line in the second box, in box number 2, right? Ga. But then here's the really interesting part, right? You see this second syllable, lax. Lax actually means milk. It means milk. Lax means milk. Okay. Now, we have 2 words that also mean milk that have this, that go back to this root. First of all, is anybody here lactose intolerant? We hear about lactose intolerance a lot, right? Lax, lack, means milk. And also, when you go to a cafe, has anyone you know ever ordered a latte? Look at this, L-A, L-A, lat, lax, lack. It means milk. A latte is a really milky coffee. Lat, lack, lax, milk. Got it? That's why galaxy, that's what it's got to do with galaxies, right? So it's ga, lax, e, galaxy. Do you see that? And so what you can do in your second box is write galaxy and then an arrow from the lax part, meaning milk. Good work. Look at that. That's it. It's like you just know what to do. It's like you just know what to do. And that's why it's called the Milky Way. Lax, latte, lactose. It's all the same thing. Milk. Not that these things are made of milk, right? But they remind us of milk. That's how we make words. Very good. So our family words is lactose. The E is not making a sound, but it's making that O say O. And then latte, latte. And I've double underlined that E because E doesn't usually say A. But when we borrow words, like we borrowed latte, we leave the spelling and they have their own rules. Lactose, latte, galaxy, milk. Isn't that cool? It's really cool. Well, guess what, Maxie? It's question time. So I'm going to unmute everybody really soon. And then we can ask questions just as soon as everyone's finished. I want to make sure everyone's got this down. Look at that beautiful writing. Well done, Mac. Nice, Tully and Van. Yes, B. Jones. Lovely, Emma. Beautiful, Hannah. Wow. Incredible. So you studied not 3 words today, right? You didn't do 3 words. You did 3 plus 2, which is 5, plus the other one. 3 plus 2 plus 2. You did 7 words. You studied 7 words. And that is how you learn to spell, right? Making them all connected to one another. So let's have some questions. You worked really hard. Your answers, your sentences are for your homework. You are very, very welcome to send me your sentences, okay? Send me your completed pictures. And I'm going to write in the chat where you can send those completed pictures. Are you ready? It's Lynn Stone at lifelongliteracy.com. Boom. That's where you send it. Oh, wait, I've just sent that to Maxie privately. I've got no idea why I'm just sending you private messages. Maxie, I'll send that again. This is for everyone. Here we go. Boom. Lynn Stone at lifelongliteracy.com. If you want to send them in to me, I will put them in a gallery. Cool. All right, I'm going to unmute you, Max. Anybody else who wants to answer a question? If you put your hand up. That is very, very cool.
So I actually know why it's like latte makes that noise. It's actually not an English word.
Good. Where's it from?
Italian.
Do you have any Italian relatives?
My dad's dad was Italian, full Italian, so I'm a quarter Italian.
That is brilliant.
And a quarter Scottish and half Australian.
Well, that is a really good combination. That's a winning combination. Cyril, you've got a question. I'm just unmuting you. Should be good to go.
Thank you. Why is galaxy spelled like that?
Because the galax bit originally meant milk, right? It originally meant milk. Why on the end of words tells us that we either have a noun, so a naming word like baby and lady, or it tells us that we have an adjective, like muddy or silly. So why tells us that it's one of those two words. So galaxy is a noun and it ends in Y. That's the whole spelling. Does that make sense? I hope so. How else would you spell it if it wasn't spelled like that?
I don't know.
Well, spell it that way and you'll always be right. All right.
Okay.
Cool. Hannah, you're up.
If LAX means milk, is that why they call it the Milky Way?
Yeah. That's the connection.
Okay.
How cool is that?
Really cool.
They're all connected. Everything's connected with words and ideas. It's all connected, and seeing those connections, the more you study words, the more you see it all. And it's it's a really good picture. It's a great picture. Beck, Emily, Tom, I'm just unmuting you.
Is the IOUR in behaviour a quad graph?
There's no such thing as quad graphs. That was something that was invented to try and explain spellings of certain things. Look, we go as far as digraphs, and some would argue that there are trigraphs, although there's evidence against that as well. So the IOUR is not what I would call a quad graph at all. In fact, remember, don't know if you were here yesterday, right? Don't know if you were here yesterday, but one of the things we looked at is all syllables have meaning. So the IOUR in behavior, actually has a meaning. It's much better to study meaning, So we've got behave, and then we can turn that into behavior. And that turns this verb behave, like I want you to behave, into a noun. Yep. It's the way in which someone behaves. It's much better to actually look at it like that. The OUR definitely is just pronounced and the I is pronounced ya. So you've got ya behavior in your accent. So it's not even a quad graph because there's two sounds here. Even if there was such a thing as a quad graph, but there's no such thing. That's a really, really complicated answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hope it gives you a bit more insight, because when you've got a syllable, you've got meaning. You've got meaning. Look into the meaning and it will be better for you. It'll be better than just letters that are supposed to make sounds. Yeah. Emma, you're up.
How do you know which sound to use which sound in a word?
So when you say sound, do you mean, how do you know how to spell the sound? How do you know which one?
Yes.
Yeah, a really good question. I'm going to get you to look just behind me, okay? And on my board here, my light is shining on it a little bit. But on my board here, right, I've got the three spellings, the three main spellings of the sound So I'll put them here, right? We call those the Wicked Sisters, right? But how do you know which one to choose? Well, what you have to do is, if you don't know, you go this one first. More than anything else, it's going to be that one. But if you definitely know it's not that one, then this one is the more likely one, right? So these are common. You see these a lot. This one, you hardly see at all. So don't choose this one. If you're not sure, you got to go with this one, right? That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do. The more that you read and spell words, the more your brain will sort these into the right ones. So always choose ER first. And if it doesn't look right, IR. And if it still doesn't look right, you can choose UR. But that's in things like Saturday, purple, you know, unusual spellings. I hope that helps a little bit. That's a brilliant question. Humphrey, you've been waiting for so long. What's your question?
From Galaxy, did lax come from a different country or?
Yeah, Latin.
Okay, thank you.
Do you know, are you familiar with the idea of Latin? You are? Cool. For everybody else, Latin was the language spoken in and around ancient Rome about 2,000 years ago. They gave us lots of words because the Romans left Rome and went and took over all these countries. And when you take over, your language gets into the country. So Latin is what they spoke, and Latin forms the base of lots and lots of modern words now. There you go.
Thank you.
My pleasure. I think we may have come to the end of our questions. Hang on. The schwa is so hard to know how to spell. Is there an easy way to remember? Yes, there is. If you hear a schwa sound in a word, it's more likely to be A or E than anything else. More likely to be the letter A or the letter E. If you try the letter U first, you will be wrong about 90% of the time. So try A and E first. There's a whole chapter on it, on Spelling for Life, and a whole exercise that you can do in Spelling for Life on it. Maybe, I think we've done schwa, maybe with the Jim Jam Gang, can't remember, but I'll have a look. Airplane, what happened to aeroplane? Well, it's more common to spell it airplane now. It's definitely an Americanism. I've also chosen airplane because it's simpler than aeroplane. That's why I chose that today. All right, so I think we may have run out of questions. Have we run out of questions? Well, tomorrow we will do fact number 2 about space, and I'd love to see your sentences. Love to see your sentences about our 3 words today, okay? What's tomorrow? Thursday, yes. So that will be our last bit of on space. If we are still in lockdown next week, then we'll do some more. We'll do some more of this, okay? Fingers crossed that we won't, but if we do, we'll just get our Jim Jams on. And between you and me, I just made a big order of pajamas yesterday. And I thought that they had arrived this morning. And you know what it was? It was some clothes for my husband. It wasn't even my Jim Jams. It was so sad. But anyway, they'll come along soon and you'll see my new pajamas one day. All right, everybody. It's time to go. It was really nice seeing you all. Thank you so much. Take care. I'm going to unmute you all so that you can say goodbye if that's what you'd like to do.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
I'm still okay.
Bye.
Oh my god. My eyes.
Wait.